Thank you, Ian, Ms. Clark, Mr. Petrosky. Well, considering all the times I've been to Cooperstown, covering these induction ceremonies, sitting where you're sitting, it's definitely a strange feeling to find myself on this side of the podium. It's also a tremendous feeling, and I want to thank my colleagues in the Baseball Writers Association for this great honor and privilege. As Ian mentioned, this is my 41st year of covering baseball, and I often think about a conversation I had with a longtime New York baseball writer named Leonard Schechter when I was just getting started. Schechter told me that he knew it was time to get off the baseball beat when he had memorized the menu at the Minute Chef in Cleveland. Well, I've managed to outlast the Minute Chef, and the remarkable thing about it is that these 41 years represent the only job I've ever had. If a high school journalism instructor named John Gartner hadn't hollered my name and pounded his desk one day, I might still be sitting there asleep with no real clue what I wanted to do in my life. I mean, to be standing here almost 50 years later and receiving an award that writers of the stature of Jim Murray and Red Smith have received is far beyond anything I might have imagined, and I can only say that I have been truly blessed. Blessed to have been able to travel with and been tutored in this great game by managers of the high caliber of Bill Rigney, Walter Alston, Tom Lasorda, John McNamara, and Gene Mock. Blessed to have been covered an encyclopedia of great events so numerous that I'm not going to take your time to mention them all. Blessed to have been able to begin my career traveling with an array of characters with the expansion angels of the early 60s, guys such as Art Fowler, Ryan Duran, Leon Wagner, Dean Chance, and Bo Belinsky, never knowing if I would be writing about an incident off the field or the game on it. Blessed as well to have been able to travel with the Dodgers of the 70s, to have been there for the years of stability with that Iron Man infield, the wonderful rivalry with Sparky's Big Red Machine, and the passing of the baton from Walter Alston to Tom Lasorda, two Hall of Famers. And blessed still later to have been able to travel with the Angels again in the early 80s as a group of outstanding veterans, including Rod Carew and Reggie Jackson, held off the twilight and Gene Mock's demons as long as they could. I would also tell you that sometimes, over the last 16 years, while writing about the game's broader issues as the national baseball writer at the LA Times, I have not felt quite as blessed. I have seen too many labor breakdowns threaten the game's popularity. I have seen the perception of the baseball writer change from a more innocent time in the early 60s when the writer was almost regarded as part of the team and a positive influence, to the current environment when it almost seems as if there is an adversarial relationship and the baseball writer is regarded as cynical, negative, and pessimistic. Well, times change and demands change, and no matter what label is applied to those of us who write about it, I am proud to have been a member and to remain a member of a group which above all continues to recognize its responsibility as guardian and custodian of the national game and the legacy represented by the Hall of Fame. Again, I thank Mr. Gartner for hammering me awake on that day so long ago. I thank my dad for all those Sundays in the upper deck at the old Wrigley Field in Los Angeles, and my mom for keeping the scrapbooks and always telling me those early stories were good when they really weren't. I thank Bill Dwyer and Dave Morgan for their continued support at the Times, my friends and family for traveling so far and being here today, And above all, I thank my wife, Connie, for 33 years of love, patience, and partnership. My daughter, Sarah, for her lessons in common sense, her interest in what her dad is doing, and the dream she is molding as a dedicated and caring teacher. And I thank my son, David, for confirming again that with determination and hard work, there is no goal, no dream, too big or too distant, even when that goal and dream is the same elusive one that these Hall of Famers once harbored. My love to Karen and Mike for helping fill David's and Sarah's glass, and my congratulations and thanks as well to Dave Winfield, Kirby Puckett, Bill Mazeroski, Rafael Ramirez, and the family of Hilton Smith for allowing me to share a small portion of this special day. I will leave you with a quick story about a longtime baseball writer in Cincinnati named Bill Phelan, who every winter would vacation in Havana. And when Bill died, he willed that his ashes be sent to his good friend Pepe Conte in Havana. Well, when Pepe received the urn containing Bill's ashes, he wasn't sure what to do with it until he finally decided to take it down to their favorite bar and invite all of his friends to share one last drink with good old Bill. Well, one drink led to two drinks, and one bar led to two bars. And when Pepe finally awoke late that next day, he realized that he had left the urn sitting on the bar at his last stop, and he hurried back to retrieve it, only to find that Bill's ashes had been swept out with last night's trash and yesterday's newspapers. And while that is often the fate of old baseball writers, I would assure you that this is much, much better. Thank you very much.